social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Esvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Esvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change-anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Thursday night volleyball in the WDA here in Dickinson. As we are now halfway through, everyone has played everyone at least once, and now we start going back around the order for a second time, and that starts tonight. I'm Brock Widener joining you on the PSP Network tonight, and we have got a fun one, Bismarck versus Dickinson High. Two teams in the top half of the West Conference, the WDA conference standings. And what we're talking about the conference standings, let's go and not waste any time. Let's drop that down. Brought to you by Trusted Tire and Auto. So everyone's played each other once, and that's the standings to the first go through. Century, they have the target on their backs, 9-0, 15-0 overall. Minot High, 7-2, 9-6 overall. Bismarck right there in third, and tied with third is Dickinson. So Dickinson has been in a spot where they've had to break so many ties. It seems like every time we come up on here, they're tied with the team they're facing that night. We've had it with early on the season when they were tied with Mandan, tied with basically Minot High, Jamestown, and now here it is again with Bismarck. So for this game, it's going to be, again, who's going to be that sole third place holder. There was a 4-way tie for third place in the conference on Tuesday night, but Jamestown and Legacy both fell. Bismarck High and Dickinson picked up the wins and stay right there in the top 4. Jamestown and Legacy in the 5 and 4, and there's where you kind of see a little bit of that split off. Again, you got the different tier systems. You got Century, Minot High's just a little bit of cut above everyone else as well, and then Bismarck through Legacy, all very close. You can even put Minot kind of in that mix as well. And then Minot North, Mandan are very similarly ranked. And then St. Mary's and Wilson rounding out your standings. But now it's starting to be crunch time with seeding getting closer and closer. 9 games to decide where you end up. And if you have to play in a play-in game or if you're automatically thrown in to the WDA standings. Let's take a look at the media polls. They were last week, so nothing this week. So maybe a little bit outdated to a point, but they'll have some new polls, I believe, coming out next week. So stay tuned for that. Century was the top dogs in the last one. West Fargo Cheyenne 2 and 3. Fargo Davies continues on the Eastern run, and then Bismarck and Jamestown tied for 5th in the voting. And I think when we looked at those WDA standings, depending on how maybe tonight goes, Minot High could very well be in the mix, as saw them last week here in the Queen City, and those Majets are the real deal. I will say that for sure. Well, let's now take a look on over of what's still to come on the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pre-game show. We're going to be diving into these two teams, talking about common opponents as well as how these two teams have done per set, what's their top set, what's kind of a set that they have struggled with throughout, as well as players to watch for Bismarck taking on Dickinson. Two teams tied for 3rd in the WDA standings. Who will get the sole possession at the end of the night?
Wondering whether you need wealth management? Wealth management is a multifaceted offering that should provide opportunities for growth and security. At BNC National Bank, we pride ourselves on putting your priorities first and providing practical, objective financial advice. Our team can help you assess your goals and take stock of your assets to determine whether wealth management is right for you. Speak to a member of our team today to learn more. Member FDIC.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters. Unlike those guys, we take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change brings you tonight's pregame show. It's a locally owned oil change headquarters. 25 years, the Lundins taking care of people local actually matters. Not to mention, this oil change is a stay-in-your-car drive-through oil change that is typically performed in 15 minutes or less. You can find them in Minot and in Bismarck. It's Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Student section starting to file in, and normally it gets pretty packed here in DHS student section, so we'll see what their theme and how rowdy they are tonight. Usually a pretty rowdy crew here in the Queen City. Well, both these two teams 6-3 in region play. The Demons, though, did a little bit better in the BPS crossover. That gives them a better record overall. 10 wins, 5 losses. Dickinson 7-8 overall. For the Bismarck Demons, again, they went 4-2 in that BPS crossover. Their only 3 losses in WDA play. They lost a 5-setter to Legacy on September 11th. They also lost back-to-back games against Jamestown and Century. So probably top-ranked teams in WDA. For Dickinson, their losses come to the 3 teams ahead of them when we took a look at the standings of Minot, Century, and these very Bismarck Demons that they'll be going toe-to-toe against tonight. They played again. These 2 teams played back on September 2nd. They were the very first matchup in WDA play. So they're the first matchup, and they'll play again the first time through for the second time through as well. In that matchup, it was Bismarck High that won set 1, 25-18. Dickinson bounced back to have a 25-18 victory themselves, but it was all Bismarck after 25-10, 25-18. Big note, BHS, Bismarck High ended up having 9 aces compared to Dickinson's 3. Dickinson has really made a mark at the service line, especially lately. They had a big day at the service line 2 days ago against Legacy, where they had 14 aces in the 5-set win versus the Sabres. So look to see if that number goes up, and if that does, that could also lead to some success against a team that beat them early on in the season. For Dickinson also, this is a team that's night and day different when they were at the BPS crossover, when they played Bismarck in a couple of those early games in the conference season. They have really been starting to play some really good, and some of their best volleyball of the season has Dickinson, especially here at home. They've only lost 1 home game, and that was a 5-setter that they only lost by 2 points there in the 5th set. For Bismarck, again, it's great to see just how different these teams are. The improvement as well, even from the Bismarck standpoint. They started off to a great start to the season, 7-2. They had a couple of hiccups against Jamestown and Century, some really good ranked teams, but they've bounced back with wins against Mandan and Williston since. And here's a team that is very well-rounded. I guess we kind of talked a little bit about that with a team like Legacy a couple nights ago, but their attack is so balanced. They have so many different options, and that really plays to the Demons' strength. And they have one of the top setters in the WDA that really conducts that really well, and we'll be talking about her as well as a couple other players to keep an eye on when we talk about players to watch when we return back on the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pre-game show right here on the PSP Network.
Rooted in the heart of our vibrant communities stands Bravera Bank, offering complete financial services for banking, wealth management, and insurance. From home loans and checking accounts.
Let me tell you about the cashback rewards with this account.
To wealth management, we'll help you forge your path ahead.
Let's create a plan to reach your financial goals.
Sounds great.
With specialty insurance coverage, our advisors ensure your operation can carry on.
Looks like it's going to be a great harvest.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Planning for the future is difficult, but pre-planning your funeral is a thoughtful way to ease the burden on your loved ones. At Stevenson Funeral Home, our compassionate team will help you create a personalized plan that reflects your values. We'll make sure that your wishes are honored and that your family will have peace of mind in a challenging time. Call us today to start your pre-planning journey. You can count on us to be with you every step of the way. Stevenson Funeral Home.
Let's talk about players to watch here on the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pre-game show, and let's start it off with the visitors. We mentioned they have one of the best setters in the conference, and maybe one of the best setters in the state, Aspen Roldson. She'll be down in the number 3, a senior who is second in the conference with 321 assists. That's only 3 assists behind Mackenzie Duffner, who is leading the conference in that mark. Roldson, again, just right behind her. Roldson also 117 digs and 7 aces, so one of the top dig getters on this squad as well, just behind their libero, Alana Kemis. 153 digs, 17 per match, also 2 aces. She picked up both of her aces on the season on Tuesday against Williston, where Bismarck swept the Coyotes 3-0. Now let's start talking about some of those attackers that we're going to see Roldson set up, and let's start it off with Jordan Rude. 78 kills, that's 9 per match, 11 blocks, 5 aces, had a 10-kill performance on Tuesday. Jensen Hintz, 63 kills, 7 per match, 24 digs, had 6 kills on Tuesday. Delana Ahmet, 66 kills, 7 per match, 4 aces, and she's really notable up front at the middle blocker spot. 12 blocks on the season, 9 kills, and a block and a half with 2 aces against Wilson. A really good day for Ahmet earlier this week. Renee Biederstedt, 50 kills on the season, and leading them in kills on the year, Rosaland Brunel. As Brunel, 97 kills, 11 per match, 10 blocks, as well as 67 digs and 14 aces this year. One of their best service line players as well, and can kind of play a little bit everywhere. Middle blocker, outside hitter, right side hitter, wherever you need Brunel, she can play in a clutch factor, so keep an eye on her tonight to potentially try to lead the Demons in the kill category. Now let's head on over to Dickinson. We're talking about potential leaders in the kill category. Well, let's talk about Jenna Nelson. She not only leads her team in kills, she leads the conference in kills as well, as she has been on another level this season, as tallying up 201 kills, winning the race to that 200 mark in among conference hitters. Also has 103 digs, 19 aces. That's actually tied for first in the conference as well. So not only can do it on the front line, but the back line too. And for Jenna Nelson, coming off of a career game that set a school record, 34 kills in a contest, and did it again in that 5-set victory on Tuesday against Legacy, breaking her own school record that she set just a couple weeks ago against Williston when she knotted 28 kills against the Coyotes. So Jenna Nelson's just kind of competing with herself right now and seeing how many times can she break her own school record. Has already done it. Has held it twice, 2 different times here this year. Let's see if she can maybe break it one more time, but 34 kills is what she got on Tuesday. Also going to be seeing a lot of attacks from Claire Rodakowski, 7 kills per match, had 9 versus Legacy. She's been trending in the higher end of that direction. Been right around that 9 to about 12 kill mark the last about 2 weeks, and that 7 per match number has continued to start climbing. So keep an eye on Rodakowski. She was a player that, again, has really started to come to her own the last couple of weeks. Had 3 kills against Bismarck in the first part of the season. We'll see how big of an impact she can be tonight. Ava Hauk on the back line. She's got 116 digs. Lexi Bradley will be on the front line, 64 kills, 7 per match, 17 aces, 8 kills on Tuesday, as well as 4 aces on Tuesday against Legacy. Lexi Bradley's been key on the front and the back line. Emerson Gar as well as Ruby Valencia will be your setters. Gar averaging about 19 per match, and Ruby Valencia just behind her, probably around 15, 16 assists per match is Valencia. Jersey, Lukey, Kimura Phillips, and Kira Paulson will all be key contributors in the block department tonight for Dickinson. Dickinson's head coached by Taylor Hafner. And again, this is a Dickinson team that is trying to get off to a better start, has only won 1 set 1 in the first 9 WDA conference games this year. Sets 2 and 3 have been very successful for Dickinson. 7 and 2 in both those sets. Sets 4 and 5 have also been positive as well. It's just trying to get out to a better start for Dickinson. For Bismarck, every single set has been in the positive for them. 5-4 in both sets 1 and 2, so kind of a coin flip. Set 3 has been really prominent for them. They're 7-2 in sets 3, 3-1 in sets 4. The only set they have not won in is set 5. They've only played in one set 5 game, and that was a loss to their in-town rival, Legacy. Well, we are getting closer and closer to opening festivities, so let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll have tonight's national anthem and starting lineups coming your way for Dickinson versus Bismarck.
Breathe in. I can't believe I wrecked my car.
There's some things in life we can't control, but what's important is how we respond. At Jerome's Collision Center, they provide the highest quality of service, assuring the job gets done stress-free and making it feel like a breath of fresh air. And to give you peace of mind, they handle the insurance.
Are you even a therapist?
Don't worry about it. Jerome's, they're the experts. Jerome's.
Welcome back into the Queen City on the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pre-game show. I'm Brock Widener joining you here tonight for Bismarck taking on Dickinson. And again, a big one in the WDA standings as it's starting to be the second time through. Everyone's played each other once. Now we begin everyone playing each other a second time. Bismarck, Dickinson tied for third as we are at the halfway point. Who will start the second half of the season at that third spot? And again, tonight going to be big, especially when you come to the tournament time, because every game now matters really keenly now with the tournament looming there in Mandan just after 9 more conference games. But there's going to be a little bit more than 9 games. Both of these teams will head out east to play in a crossover where they'll play some of those eastern schools again. And honestly, that's going to be a nice, I think that's in about a week or two, but that's going to be a nice kind of eye chart of playing some of those teams out of the East a second time through of how did you improve against them and how did your record fare from the BPS crossover to the one out in the East when you play similar competition. So, again, we'll be interested to see how that works, but we're going to head on over to tonight's national anthem. That was tonight's national anthem right here on the PSP Network. Bismarck, Dickinson coming your way in 30 seconds.
Spas Etc. is excited to introduce the addition of the Master Spas line, including the Michael Phelps Swim Spas. Enjoy the relaxing health benefits and enjoy 0% financing up to 72 months or up to $5,000 off on all spas and swim spas. You'll also find $2,000 off the MSRP on all pools and saunas. Come check out the outstanding lineup of Master Spas at Spas Etc.
Welcome in here to the PSP Network as we are wrapping up with the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show, and we get ready for tonight's action between Bismarck and Dickinson. Again, before we get going, I just want to apologize as we had some technical difficulties beforehand, so the scoreboard not going to be working on the set the score is going on throughout the sets, but we will have the who wins the set on the bottom there. Again, apologize for that, but again, big thanks out to everyone that was trying to make it work behind the scenes. Big thanks out to Nick, Owen, and Zach for trying the best to try to get this ship righted, but looks like it's just not going to, the cards were not in our favor tonight to get that going, but again, we'll try to get that ready and up for our next volleyball games here at DHS. Well, since we got that all squared away, let's now take a look on over before we get ready. Big thanks out to our sponsors here tonight. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Minot State. The best way to predict your future is to create it with over 100 areas of study at Minot State. You'll learn the degree for the career of your desire, with more than 96% of recent Minot State grads employed or continuing their education. MSU grads get jobs, period. Minot State University. Be seen, be heard, be you. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Northern Plains Heating and Air. There's no other choice to seal your heating and air game than Northern Plains Heating and Air. Call Dylan today at 222-2155 to make sure your furnace is ready for the winter months ahead. New installation upgrades and all your furnace and AC needs. Again, call Dylan today at 222-2155. Northern Plains Heating and Air, keys to the game tonight. Well, for Dickinson, you gotta be competitive here in set number one. Again, it has just been a very elusive set. They've only took set one in conference play, and that was against Mandan. So trying to get out to that a big start here tonight for Dickinson and taking that opening set could go a long ways in trying to get into the win column tonight. For Bismarck, their key to the game is, hey, put that last game that you beat Dickinson kind of behind you. This is a different looking Dickinson Maverick team. They're playing with a very different energy to them and a different feel to them. So again, act like it's kind of your first time playing this team. It's a very different Dickinson team than what started the season. So for them, you just got to, again, put that behind you. Hey, we beat them before. We beat them in a 4-setter. Got to put that behind you and get right back to work here tonight if you are the Demons. Those are your keys to the match. And I'm thinking this one's going to be another fun one. Don't be surprised if it's another 4-5 set match here tonight. Dickinson has been in 5-setters the last 2 games here at home. Last week, lost in a 5-setter against Minot. On Tuesday, they beat Legacy in a 5-setter. And these two teams played in a 4-setter in Bismarck early in the year, and the Demons picked up the win. See what happens now the second time through. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. We'll start it off with the home team. Clay Rodakowski, Emerson Garr, and Jenna Nelson, the WDA kills leader on the front line. Back line, Lexi Bradley, Ava Hauk, and Callie Embry going to be checking in for Jersey Lukey. Up front for the Bismarck Demons, Renee Biederstedt, as well as Aspen Roldson and Jordan Rude up front. On the back line, Roseland Burnell, Taylor Mayer, and the libero of Alana Chemis. Those are tonight's starting lineups. And now we are ready to go. Lexi Bradley going to get us officially kicked off and underway. Bat out of the air by Burnell. Taylor gets it, pushes it across as Biederstedt. Nice diving effort for Embry. Played over by Bradley. Roldson setting it down the middle to Rude. Scooped up by Embry once again. Soft tapper. Gonna work for Nelson. Jenna Nelson picks up the first kill right away. Again, set the school record on Tuesday, 34 kills, beating her previous school record of 28. Bradley serve. Picked up and over by Mayer. Bradley's there. Garr going to work it down the middle to Rodakowski. Brunel bats it out of the air. Back to Biederstedt. Too far, and they're going to say it was tipped. Give Biederstedt the point. Biederstedt going to be a player to watch tonight. 50 kills on the season, rounding around 6 per match. Also a factor up front with 10 blocks this year. Just around 1 per match. Aspen Rolston serve right into the net, so give the Mavericks back the lead and send in Callie Embry to serve. Embry 11 aces on the year. Embry will give it a couple of dribbles and send it across. Picked up by Taylor. They work it across, and picking it up off of a kill is Brunel. Brunel is their leading kill getter on the season. Had 10 kills against Williston on Tuesday. Watch for her to make that big impact. Also had 2 aces from the service line on Tuesday as well. Bradley keeps it in. Gar to Nelson, off the fingertips of Brunel. Running in is Roltson. Played up from Chemis to Biederstedt, off course and in to the student section. Student section throwing up their arms of what did we do there wrong as they get hit by the ball. As they'll probably take that 9 times out of 10 if it means their Mavericks get a point. 3-2, DHS back on top. Valencia. Down the spin, Roltson shoves it across. Big swing from Hintz into the net. 4-2. Already getting multiple different attackers, trying to get them going is the Demons. Braun, Biederstedt, Brunel all have already had early swings. Now they'll go back to Brunel, down the middle. Embry's there. Off course, though. Valencia tracks it down. Embry bumps it back over. Roltson, a little back set, sets it up to Biederstedt with the kill. That's her second for Renee Biederstedt. Let's take a look on that one on the Ryan Family Dealerships instant replay. There's the back set and gets it right off of Nelson. Drops down before it gets to the back line, 4-3. Valencia steps into it for Nelson, who's on the opposite side. Nelson switches up sides and gets the same result. Another kill for Nelson, her second. 5-3 Mavericks. 5-3 here in set number 1 as Nelson into the net. Nelson again had a big day at the service line on Tuesday where she had 4 aces. Her first serve on today's action go into the net, and that will allow the Demons to bring in Briar Johnner to serve. 5 aces on the season for Johnner. Nelson to Valencia. Here comes Lukey soaring through. Roltson gets there. Chemis sets it up for Hintz, who is blocked. They'll shove it back across. Valencia's ready. Embry bumps it towards Bradley. A running swing there. Nice action for Mischel. Back on the swing from Hintz. Embry's there. Valencia to Lukey. Hits the very tippy top of the net. Falls back on the DHS side. There's going to be a 4-touch there. Just not on that lucky bounce. As you see, it hits the top and rolls back on the Dickinson side. Setting it up now 5-5 as Johnner back to serve. Nelson sprawls out for it off the net. Great work by Valencia to somehow peel that one up. Back to Valencia trying to make the save, but it's a quick attack that works out for a Demon point. Let's take a look at that save, though, however, for Valencia. Got that all saved up there. You see it, but it unfortunately just gets played up by Mischel, and that will be the point for BHSB High. Off of the libero, Chemis into the net and played across. Valencia to Lukey, blocked at the net. Embry is there. Valencia backpedals back to Bradley. Chemis, nice dig. Roltson works it in for a big swing from Jensen Hintz. Great setup and a great approach there for Hintz. Hintz with a big time swing. Puts the Demons up 7-5 as they're going on a bit of a run as they're back on top. And there's an ace serve to go along with the run. An ace serve for Briar Johnner, her 6th ace on the season. Johnner, a junior that is making an impact on this season for the Demons. And we talked about just a very balanced squad. And a balanced squad for this Demon team that is very custom to some nice postseason runs. They lost in the WDA championship last year in 4 sets a century. They advanced into state the last couple of seasons as these Demons. Chemis digs it up, Roltson. Back to Hintz. Getting down on a knee there is Lukey. Here comes Bradley soaring up. Nice dig up by Johnner. Back to Hintz, who backwards bumps it across. Lukey's there. Valencia setting up quickly to Rodakowski. Blocked by Roldson. Played it off the ground is Valencia, keeping it up. Roldson setting up down the middle. Gonna work for a kill from Delana Amit. Amit picks up her first kill. Great setup for Roldson, who's having a very strong start to the contest as that setter. And second in assist in the conference, just behind Mackenzie Duffner of Minot High. Taylor Mayer, the senior, back to serve off of Embry. A serve, it hits the rafters and down. Mayer gets the ace, second ace on a team for Bismarck High. As everything falling in the favor of the Demons, Taylor Mayer are going to try it again. Nelson's there this time, shoved over by Bradley. Roldson, quick over to Rude with the kill. Jordan Rude, she can drop the hammer, that's for sure. That's what you see right there. Roldson, great setup. Rude slices that one past Valencia for the kill. Demons continue to roll 11-6 in set one. Into the netting off the serve from Taylor Mayer. Emerson Garr will check back in. Ava Hauk as well as Valencia and Paulson check out for the Mavs. Hauk throws that one in the air. Oh, off of a quick little touch there for the Demons. They do get it over on the third hit. Garr to Bradley, winding up off of Amit and down. Bradley with the kill. Lexi Bradley picks up her first kill in the contest. She's third on the team with 64 kills this year for the Mavericks. Johnner scoops it up. Back set from Roldson to Amit with the kill. Nelson and Hauk both went down for that one. Kind of ran into each other. Ball goes in the air. The next one could not get the contact of that ball there to keep it afloat. 12-8. Hauk digs it up. Garr, quick touch down the middle. Rodakowski, too much power behind that one, but no, going to be called a touch for Rodakowski. So we've seen that on both teams now, where ball clear over the box, but ruled a touch shortly after. Amit thought that it was a Demon point. Now she just got notified that it was a touch, so she'll roll the ball back on over to the Dickinson side. As Chemist checks back in for the Demons. 12-9, they lead. Dug up by Mayer. Johnner to a quick touch by Biederstedt. Doesn't always have to be the big power shot. That one just shoves it across. Biederstedt with her third kill. Here you go, just perfectly examining the defense. Gets that one off of Garr and down. Demons go up back by 4. Hauk controls it cleanly. Back set from Garr to Rodakowski. Blocked back right into Garr, and it will be a point. It'll be called a two-touch on the Dickinson side, 14-9. When these two teams played each other the first time of the season back on September 2nd, the Demons took set one 25-18. Bradley digs it up. Garr plays it near the net, and it falls on the Dickinson side. Not sure if Jordan Rude tapped that one or not, but either way, it will be a Demon point, and it's all Bismarck High early on. 15-9 here in set number one. Coach Hafner and the Mavericks going to take a timeout. We'll take one with them. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold up. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Bismarck High leads 15-9 over the Mighty Mavericks of Dickinson High. Again, we apologize. Our scoreboard not quite going to be up to work in here today, but again, we will have that match or that set and that match points up to date when these sets go into conclusion. But right now, 15-9, Demons lead over Dickinson here in the first set. Rolton serve into the netting. As after Coach Hafner's timeout, brought to you by First International Bank and Trust, Mavericks roll within 5. After playing from behind here early on in set number 1, Mavericks seeing if they can get a run to reel back in the Demons. Rolton to Rude, trying to keep it going, and right now everything going to favor the Demons. Rude with another kill, her second. Already 3 different Demons that have multiple kills. Rude and Ahmet both have 2, and Bieterstedt leads the way with 3 unofficial kills for Bismarck High. Ava Mischel going to serve. She'll check in, and she will almost pick up her first ace of the season. Pinball's on the Dickinson side. Embry gets it over. Quick attack to Brunel. Played up by Lukey, but it looks like it's going to be called a lift on Lukey. So Brunel, again, forces all the troubles over there again on the Dickinson side, and Bismarck up by 7, up by a touchdown. Mischel serve into the stage, bounces back, and we'll set up the Mavericks back to serve, and we'll set up another exchange as Valencia and Paulson check in for Hauk and Gar. Kind of those hockey combination there, the line change. See those 2 continue to be subbed in and out, or those 4, should I say. Rolton to Brunel, slams it down for a Demon point. Rosalind Brunel picks up, I believe that's unofficially her 100th kill on the season for Brunel, and they almost get an ace serve to go with it. That one, though, just outside of the box. Can't get much closer than that as the Demons lead 18-12. And now Nelson will serve for her second time here in the opening frame. Scooped up well by Henson to the opposite side to Brunel. Not going to quite get that one over. 18-13, point for the Mavericks. For a Bismarck team that has been firing on all cylinders, a rare miscue here in set 1. Nelson serve into the net. The Demons go right back up by 6, 19-13. As they'll serve that one across to Nelson. Plays it up from Embry to Bradley. Had to sidestep and just set that one across from an awkward angle. Hintz unloads for the kill. Hintz picks up her second kill. Jensen Hintz also on the track team for this Bismarck squad, and that's a track and field team that has usually fared pretty well at the state tournament. Always in the mix for a state title as that track and field team for the Demons. 20-14, Demons win the race to 20. As Lukey serves, picked up by Mischel. Down the middle to Ahmet. Picked up well by Lukey, but too close to the net, and Ahmet will tap that one down for the point. Back to a football score, 21-14. Demons lead here in the first set, and sending back in Taylor Mayer. Had 1 kill, 6 digs against Williston on Tuesday, and had one of her all-time games against Dickinson early in the year when she had 3 aces from the back line. Rude sends it on a line for the kill. Jordan Rude, the 3rd kill for her, puts the Demons just 3 points away from taking set number 1. Student section with the Let's Go Mavericks chants, trying to get the Mavericks back into this one. Punched over by Bradley. Rude's there. Little set dump for Rolton. Diving effort for Embry. Keeps it alive. Rodakowski blocked by Rolton. Nelson steps into it. Bradley up and over. Rolton is there. Sets it down to Ahmet. and she'll play it down into the donut, and it falls for a point. Another tip kill there for Ahmet. There you see that circle of the zone. Embry tried to pancake effort. Just could not quite get underneath that ball. 23-14. Followed up by an ace serve for the Demons. 24-14. A ace for Bismarck High. An ace for Taylor Mayer. Her second on the night. Brings us to a Serve Pro set point. 24/7 emergency service trained technicians, advanced technology, fire and water cleanup and restoration. It's Serve Pro. Embry's there. Valencia to Bradley. Winding up. Blocked by Ahmet up front. Here comes a swing and attack from the back line from Nelson. Mayer's there, setting it up to Rude. Floats one across. Valencia to Embry, setting it to Bradley. Off of 1 foot, Mayer races in. Rolton trying to find the far corner. Protecting it is Nelson. Rodakowski blocked up by Ahmet. Kemis to Rude. Drops down for the set point. Demons take set one, 25-14. Demons go up in set number 1, 25-14. And as we head in to the break of set number 1, we'll head on to set 2 after taking a look at the set sealing win for the Demons.
Breathe in.
I can't believe I wrecked my car.
There's some things in life we can't control, but what's important is how we respond. At Jerome's Collision Center, they provide the highest quality of service, assuring the job gets done stress-free and making it feel like a breath of fresh air. And to give you peace of mind, they handle the insurance.
Are you even a therapist?
Don't worry about it. Jerome's, they're the experts. Jerome's.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Nobody thinks about personal injury until it happens. But when injury strikes, so will your bills and the turmoil and everything you'll miss out on. It's a mess and you need someone to help it all make sense. That someone is Schweigert, Clamine, and McBride. We know the territory and the process, and we work smart and hard to get you results. It's easier to get back to normal knowing there's a team behind you. We're the ones the other side doesn't want you to call. We're on your side. We're Schweigert, Clamine, and McBride.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most. Nodak Insurance Company, agents with answers.
Darren Johnson, Cody Olson, and Scott Wilkins, your agents with answers in Mandan.
Set number 1 in the books. So now we head on over to set number 2. Dickinson falling in set number 1, where Bismarck jumped out to a 25-14 set victory. Very balanced attack for this Bismarck team, and they were firing on all cylinders. Jordan Rude, 3 kills. So was Brunella and Biederstedt, all with 3 kills apiece. Ahmet led the way with 4. Jensen Hintz with 2. And Cameron Braun picked up 1 as well. So just a great round effort for this Bismarck Demon squad. Biederstedt, though, will be blocked by Nelson, but falls out of play. And Biederstedt picks up right where she left off, picking up her 4th kill in the contest. There is a jersey change that was set over the intercom, as starting the day at number 1 was Briar Johnner. She has switched to number 19. So Johnner will be wearing 19. watched the Mandan game, and Johnner started that game in her number 1 jersey, but then ended up playing as number 23, I think, or something like that. And so another kind of jersey change there for Johnner, and she'll be wearing 19 in this one. Going forward, as play near the net, it looks like a violation on the Bismarck side, give the Mavericks the lead 2-1. On the net violation, Embry will go back to serve, the libero for Dickinson. Picked up by Burnell. Back set from Rolton to Rude, off of Embry, up and over. Chemis is there, Rolton sets it up down the middle. Rude this time will get the kill. Relentless approach here for Bismarck High. Rolton conducting the orchestra up front. And right now playing picture perfect music right now, pitch perfect on the end of the Demons. 2-2, they even upset number 2. Chemis plays it across. Rolton to Hintz, off the fingertips of a couple of Mavericks. Nelson skips that one off a couple of fingertips of the Demons. Rolton sets it up to Bieterstead. Dug up by Hauk, miscommunication. Who is going to get the next touch? And it falls down. 3-2 Demons lead. Demons are 5-4 in set 2, kind of a 50-50 set for them. For the Mavericks, this has been a good set for the Mavs, 7-2, where they've been bouncing back after set 1s. When these two teams played each other back in September, it was Dickinson that took set number 2 to even the match at that point, 1 set apiece. But then Bismarck would go on and win sets 3 and 4 to take the match in 4 sets. Valencia's serve into the netting, 4-3. As Chemis scoops up the ball and heads on over for her serve. Lena Chemis, that one off of Embry and down. Chemis with the ace serve. The service line was a big positive on Tuesday for Dickinson, out acing Legacy 14-6, but they're on the wrong end of a 4-0 gap there at the service line here today against Bismarck High. Nelson, though, gets a big swing for her 3rd kill. She'll bring it in within 1. Mavericks trail 4-5. Sending it across, trying to tie this one up here in set 2. Mitchell sends it near the net. Rolton, great work. Tight ropes the line, sets up Ahmet to perfection. Let's take a look on this. Great setup from Rolton to Ahmet. Rolton plays it perfectly, and Ahmet slams it down for a Demon point. 6-4 BHS. Into the net. On the serve from Briar Johnner. Again, Johnner wearing the number 19 now. Started the day at number 1 and set number 1, but a switch to that 19 jersey. Dug up by Chemis. Big swing from Hintz with the kill. Hintz with her 3rd on the day. Hintz is also a competitive weightlifter. She was first in her weight class with a 305 squat, a 145 bench, and a 170 power clean. I don't know much about that, but I looked over at my camera guy, and he was saying, oh my goodness, so it must be pretty good. Nelson, swing outside the box for an even point. Don't see that combination of volleyball and competitive weightlifting very often at the high school level, but very, very cool, especially there for Hintz, who is great in both sports. Played over by Phillips. Rolson shoves it across. Valencia's there. Embry to Bradley. Soft little set. Diving in from the back line is Johnner. Up and over it goes. Valencia back to Bradley. This time a big swing off of Ahmet. Down for the kill. So Dickinson trying to find that ingredient. You saw Kimora Phillips just check in Now she'll check out as they'll send in Hauk to serve. Seeing if maybe Kimora Phillips can be that spark here in set number 2. That's a kind of a spot that's been flip-flopped the last couple of weeks, with Phillips and Paulson playing that role up front, helping tag team with Lukey as a blocker. Bradley backhands that one. Biederstedt, DeRolson pushed over by Rude, trying to find the far corner. Great effort by Hauk. Played over by Bradley. Rolson down the middle. Rude gets on top of that one and sends it down for a kill. Jordan Rude will pick up her 5th kill. 2nd Demon to get there. Amit the other. 10-5 Demons. Embry digs it up. Gar to Bradley. Slashes that one over to Johnner. Here comes Biederstedt. Was it tipped? That's the question. They will say it was off of Rodakowski. And now Biederstedt at 5 kills. So Biederstedt, Amit, and Rude all have 5 for the Demons. Played in by Embry. Bradley slams it off of Rude for the kill. Lexi Bradley trying to get the offense rolling for the Mavericks. Again, Bismarck took set number 1, 25-14. They lead 11-7 here in set 2. Scooped up by Mayer. Working it in to Biederstedt, off of a deflection. Read well by Bradley, set dump by Gar. Off of Roldson, Mayer reels it in, played over by Biederstedt. Bradley patiently waits. Gar to Nelson. Played in, got a nice clean dig. On the cross there from Johnner, and Biederstedt back in on the offense. Off a deflection for the kill. Demons go up by 5. And this offense has been almost unstoppable here so far. Now they going into serve is Roldson. That's Zuki who just checks in, and she will get an early assist to Rodakowski, as Rodakowski So Zuki checks in, picks up a big-time assist to Rodakowski. And now Embry going to serve. Roldson, tippy toes near the net. Biederstedt blocked by Nelson. Tried on to Brunel, slashes it. Bradley's there. Played by Nelson. Roldson down the middle to Rude for the kill off of Nelson's fingertips. Rude, her 6th. Again, this Dickinson team is just trying to find what works right now and trying to find what could be the missing ingredient. As Jenna Zupke, the latest check-in. Zupke down the middle, slashed over by Lukey. So Zupke to Lukey for the kill. Nice setup there as Lukey gets her first kill. As they were going to bring in Paulson, and it didn't work, so now Hauk's on the front line. I think that's the first time that's ever happened. Not sure why that substitution wasn't granted, but now Hauk playing on the front line. Nelson with the swing. Embry to Valencia. Here comes Lukey, blocked by Biederstedt. Valencia back to Nelson. That time will work for the kill. And now Ava Hauk will check out. Yeah, they were trying to check her out as normally on the back line, got put to the front line. They didn't allow it the first time. Now they will to Paulson. So it might have been a late change or something of that nature. Hintz has the left hand hit that one across, but here comes the Mavericks. Starting to make a run from behind as we reach the halfway point here in set 2. Chemist to Roldson. Here comes Brunel off of Bradley and top of the rafter and down for Brunel. Let's take a look at that one. And again, it comes into being the rafter, the issue. You don't see it, and then you do. Right there in front of Valencia, it falls. 14-11 Demons. Embry sets it up to Paulson. Bumps it across. Quick play to Ahmet. Bat out of the air by Lukey. Valencia setting it up for Nelson. Blocked by Ahmet again. Miscommunication splits between Bradley and Embry. Brunel and Ahmet in on the block that just forces all sorts of troubles for the Mavericks. Demons lead here in set number 2, 15-11. They lead the match 1-0. Set 2 continues on when we return on the PSP Network.
Facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Bismarck leads 15-11 here in set number 2. They lead in the match 1-0 over Dickinson. But DHS strikes first out of the First International Bank and Trust timeout. It's Jenna Nelson with her 5th kill. First International Bank and Trust, full service, family owned, independent community bank built on the bond between their employees and customers, founded in 1910, growing to serve rural and urban communities in Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Find them online at FIBT.com. Valencia plays it high in the air. Bradley plays it across. Mitchell is there. Here comes Brunel off of the net and back on the Bismarck side. Point for the Mavericks as Nelson back to serve. This Maverick team has been tinkering with different possibilities and different rotations here in this set, seeing if they can find that missing ingredient, but Brunel continues to shine in this one, and just really the attackers in general on this Bismarck team continue to shine in the contest. 16-13. There was a couple different point differences here. They had them at 16. They took it off. They put them back at 16. They had them as high as 17 as well, so that was something, I think. But now they're going to call in the captains of Roldson and Nelson on something else. I'm not sure exactly what.
There was a mistake on the last one. Point was awarded to the wrong team. That is the correct score.
Okay, so there was a difference on the points. They gave the Demons the Maverick point, and then they gave the Mavericks the Demon point. And there was some confusion on that, but it is even, 16-13. There's a big swing and a big point for Demons right after, 17-13 after the confusion. And that was Roldson, the setter. Yes, normally she just sets it, but there was a clean hit. Maybe she could play an outside hitter role if you need to. That was a nice swing there from a setter. And I got her, that says her, might be one of her first aces or first kills on the season. Lukey taps it across. That's probably a typo though, as big swing from Hintz gets it in to the corner of the box for a Hintz point. So you got Roldson with the kill, and then Hintz with one of her own shortly after puts the Demons up by 5, 18-13. Embry scoops it up. Valencia pushes it across to Bradley. Blocked by Ahmet. Backpedaling off the back foot for Nelson into the netting. 19-13. And Dickinson going to take another timeout. Their last one here in set number 2 as the Demons starting to pull away once more. They lead 19-13 here in the second set.
We want it all. We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it.
Drop it.
We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day. So you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
Valencia to Bradley as we enter back in. Hits the net, rolls on the DHS side. 20-13. Demons here in set number 2. Sending back Johnner to the line. Johnner's already got an ace today. Nelson scoops it up. Quick play from Valencia to Lukey. Just a tad too long from Lukey. 21-13 Demons. An uncharacteristic second set here for Dickinson. Again, Dickinson has not been no stranger from playing from behind with dropping that first set, but that second set they've usually come out guns a-blazing. It has been a little bit of a struggle here in set 2 as well, as just the Demons have just had relentless pressure and have not allowed the Mavericks to get comfortable in this game, as Hintz with the kill. The student section doing everything they can to try to get the Mavericks back on course. But for the Demons, they just need 3 more points here in set 2 to go up 2-0 in the match. Put themselves in the driver's seat here tonight. And these two teams tied for 3rd in the WDA standings, just behind Minot, who's in 2nd, and Century, who's undefeated at number 1. 22-14, Lukey serve, scooped up by Chemist. Rolton plays it into Hintz. Hintz with another kill. Back-to-back kills for Hintz. Let's take a look at the Ryan Family Dealership instant replay. That one off the blockers and down for Hintz. For 50 years, Ryan has been a trusted name for car buyers in Western North Dakota. Shop their entire inventory. DriveRyan.com. Visit one of their 5 locations in Minot and Williston. Into the netting off the serve from Mayer. 23-15. For Dickinson, it's crucial to try to get some momentum stirring here before set 2 closes. Even if you're not able to make a crazy comeback down right now, 15-23, you get some points to go your way and get the student section again rocking. Try to set yourself up for set 3, but Jordan Rude with the kill. 24-15. What has been a dominant display here for the team out of the capital city. Ahmet serve. Scooped up by Ambry. Zupke checks back in. Rodakowski with the kill. Again, Jenna Zupke has checked in, and once she's checked in, has made that impact, as Rodakowski and her have been on the same page. Rodakowski picked up a kill off of her assist earlier on in this set, and they connect once again. 16-24, back to a serve pro set point as the Mavericks get an ace from Bradley. Their first ace on the day comes at the end in stages of set number 2, 17-24. And the Mavericks would need 7 more straight points to try to force some extra play here in set 2. Demon still in set point. Rolton to Rude. Embry digs it up. Nelson up and over. Free attacking coming for the Demons. Roldson to Rude. Pancake effort for Embry, but played down by Rude for the point. Believe it was Jordan Rude that played the ender in set number 1. She does the same in set number 2, and it's going to take you into break as we head to set 3 when we come back. Look at that pancake effort from Embry, but Rude still captures the point for Beehive.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Network on all social media platforms. ESP Network, it's game day.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of Finland Civic. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Esvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Esvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
We enter back in as we go into set number 3 as Dickinson falls the first 2 sets. Going up early is Bismarck High, and they have looked mightily impressive. Trying to start the second half of the season with a win for Bismarck. Take a look at other scores. Legacy so far up 2-0 over Minot North. Minot swept Mandan tonight 3-0. Century swept Williston 3-0 as well. Jamestown up in set number 4, 2-1 over St. Mary's, and that's your action in WDA tonight. Peterstead wants a tip. She will get it. Peterstead with her 7th kill, and she has been, I believe, the demon that has got the first kill for them in each and every set, or at least probably up there. She seems like she's always making an early play to get the Demons headed in the right direction. Zupke going to be the starting setter here in set 3. For DHS as Rude applies it to the backhand. Zupke, here comes Nelson with the kill. Bismarck High had already hit the floor with a minute and a half left on the intermission time. Dickinson took an extra minute, and when they closed it out, they were all screaming, trying to get that emotion, trying to get that energy back up. We'll see if that pays off as Roldson picks up another kill on the set dump from the setter. Roldson, again, is second in the conference in assists with 321. I think she's just behind 3 assists to Mackenzie Duffner. the UND commit that's playing for the Magi, who picked up the 3-set sweep tonight for Minot over Mandan. Hintz punches that one across near the net. Joust won by Zupke. Jenna Zupke checking in, making an impact. 1 kill. I believe she got 2 or 3 assists as well. And now she'll check out for Ruby Valencia. Again, it's Kimora Phillips and Jenna Zupke that have started the game on the bench. Didn't play, I believe, at any point in the first set, but in set number 2, Hafner was trying to hit different buttons, and Phillips and Zupke both made some impacts. We'll see them here in set number 3 early. Valencia to Lukey, up, over, and down. Jersey Lukey on the setup from Valencia. Picks up the kill, evens it up, 3-3. Initials there. Rolton to Burnell, the answer back. A quick response from Bismarck High. And that has been the name of the game for the Demons. Do not let the Mavericks get too high. Don't let them get that excitement built up here in the EHS gym. As Ahmet with another block, but it's outside, and it will count in for a DHS point. As Nelson tallies her 7th kill. Scooped up by Mischel. They fake it to Ahmet. Go to Burnell with the kill. Again, for this DHS team, there was so much emotion and energy on Tuesday night where they had to go 5 sets against Legacy. And just how mentally and physically exhausting that game was, and seeing if they can try to stay in the mix here against another team out of the capital city in Bismarck High, trailing 2 sets, but Lukey with a couple of kills here early in set 3. Five. Lukey's serve. Scooped up by Chemis. Rolson runs it down. Here comes Hintz. Nelson's there. Valencia to Bradley. Off the fingertips. Chemis controls it. Down the middle, Ahmet punched up by Bradley. Ahmet going to get a second swing at that one. Valencia's there. Tracking it down. Nelson to Bradley. Sliding in is Johnner. Rolson backwards. Bump set to perfection for Rolson to Hintz. I want to check this one out. Brought to you by Ryan Family Dealerships. Look at that perfect setup behind the back. Just a perfect setup there for Rolson, who's just been on another level here today, leading that Demon offense. Valencia to Bradley. Mayer slides in. Rolson tried to drive by that one, could not quite make contact, stayed in the netting, and eventually rolls off 6-6. Jenna Zupke again has worked her aim into more playing time today. The junior has looked solid. Let's see that impact as she checks back in. Pancake effort for Nelson. Zupke sets it up well to Rodakowski. Rude slams it down, and a big point to Mayer with the setup. The Demons have won their last 2 games, seeing if they can make it 3 in a row. They lead here in set number 3. 7-6 will make it 8-6. Rude with another tip kill. Rude is the first player on either team to get to 10 kills tonight. As Ahmet serves it, Nelson steps into it. Sets it up for Zupke to Rodakowski with the response. And that has just been the normal when Zupke's checked in. A quick kill and a quick setup to Rodakowski. The 2 juniors are on the same page, that's for sure. Rolson to Biederstedt, hit the brakes, now plays one across. Zupke this time plays it across to Nelson. Dug up, but no one home. Nelson gets that one to drop off of Johnner, evening it up 8-8. And this is the start the doctor ordered there for Dickinson. Trying to make sure DHS or Behi does not get out to an early lead like they have in the past. Rolson to Rude. Soft little tapper. Rude again up front. Drops it for a point. 9-8. Johnner checks out. Brunel will check back in on the front line to join Biederstedt and Roldson. Or Biederstedt and Rude, Roldson back to serve. Hauk is there. Up and over by Embry. Free attack incoming for Behi. Rude blocked by Nelson. Brunel runs it down, shoved over by Biederstedt. Zupke to Nelson. Soft tapper, flying in on the back end. Keeping off the ground is Roldson. Zupke to Rudakowski. Back on the Behi side, Brunel floats one across to Embry, digs it up cleanly. Zupke back to Nelson. This time it will work. A hard-fought point goes the way of Dickinson. Zupke setting it up to Nelson. And that's the type of points that Dickinson needed to try to capture. One of those hard-fought points for that confidence that evens up 9-9. Brunel doesn't waste long. Off of Lukey and down. Brunel captures her 8th kill. And puts them back on top, 10-9. As Ava Mischel back to serve, standing right-hand serve. Hauk digs it up. It goes right to Nelson, who's just going to swing at it right away. Roldson to Biederstedt, off the netting. No one touched it on the DHS side, so we called a 4-hit, and we're dead even, 10-10 in set 3. Again, Dickinson will have to try to get to set 5 to win this match. Both teams came into the day with identical conference records, both 6-3. That one not going to get over. An ace serve for Ruby Valencia. The Mavericks captured 14 aces on Tuesday. Has just been limited to 2 against the Demons today. That's that second one. Valencia's first. Brunel off of Phillips. Valencia tries to reel it in, but cannot quite. Here's the setup, and Brunel gets that one to go off of Valencia. Back even at 11. Chemis skips it off the net. Embry and Valencia bump heads. They're both up, though, quickly. Roldson to Amit. Slams it down. Embry and Valencia both went for the same ball. They knocked heads there, but it looks like they're both okay on the Dickinson side as they will both stay in. Bradley controls it. Nelson plays it high for Phillips, flies in. Mischel's there. Roldson to Hintz. In to the back of the box for Hintz. Just the balance of the attack. Biederstedt with 7 kills. Brunel with 9. 6 for Amit. 9 for Hintz. And Rude's got 11. All unofficial, but there's the rough judgment there. And here is an ace serve for the Demons. Chemis picks up the ace, her second on the day, 5th as a team. And after it was 11-11, it's 3 straight points for the Demons, who lead 14-11. Valencia back set to Nelson, floats one across. Brunel and Chemis now bump heads. They run into each other as Nelson gets her 10th. So 2 collisions on opposite sides here in set number 3, kind of closely, not quite back-to-back points, but very similar time frame. Michelle digs that one up. From Mischel to Brunel. Give it to a Dickinson point. I believe it was played on the wrong side of the antenna. Mavericks will take that one, as that makes them back bowling within one. Nelson serve, pinpoint accuracy for Nelson. 14-14 after the Nelson ace. And again, that is a kind of category there in the ace department where you seeing if they can find those aces here in set number 3 to get that rhythm going. And they've been finding the success in it here in the third set. Ace serve for Nelson. Dickinson had one ace through the first 2 sets. Well, they've got 3 here in set number 3. And those aces help the Mavericks go back on top, 15-14 here in the third set. A must-win set for Dickinson. Trails 2-0 against the Demons.
The foundation of the financial planning approach at Legacy Financial Partners is a personal relationship. Our unique and collaborative approach to financial planning starts with your dreams, not just the numbers. We will work with you regularly to take action to update your plan as your needs evolve, recommending products and services that are right for your situation.
Let's take a look at what's coming up tomorrow on the PSP Network. Friday Night Football brought to you by Bones Barbecue. Got a couple AAA games for you. Bismarck High versus Mandan. Minot High versus Bismarck Legacy. AA, I'll be at that one. Dickinson taking on Jamestown. Me and Owen Patterson on the call. Devils Lake versus St. Mary's. And then South Prairie Max Bishop Ryan. So a big slate there for Friday Night Football on the PSP Network. Big thanks out to Bones Barbecue Sauce. Ahmet with a little tapper there, up and over by Bradley. Roldson back to Ahmet, slams it down after the timeout break. Bones Barbecue Sauce is a true North Dakota original, created and bottled right here in North Dakota. Premium barbecue sauce, perfect on anything from ribs to burgers to veggies. Find it today at your local grocery store. You can find it at Cashwise, Marketplace, and Family Fare. Hey, I got one last week, a bottle, and you can find it here in Dickinson at Cashwise, and it's fantastic. If you haven't tried it, go give it a try again at your the Cashwise, Marketplace, or Family Fare. Bradley blocked by Ahmet, pushed up and over. Here comes Hintz with a swing. Out of play. They're going to say, is it touched or not? And they will say it was. So Hintz will get the point. There's a hit off of Kimura Phillips as 16-15. Demons break the tie. Back-to-back points out of the timeout break, and Ahmet will keep the rhythm going for the Demons. Ahmet's got 2 of those 3 points after the timeout break, now forcing the Mavericks to take one of their own. Demons jump back up front, 17-15 here in set number 3.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's gonna go, so.
Hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved. Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you at Dakota Community Bank.
Entering back in, Demons serve just outside of the box, so Mavericks will pull within 1. Demons lead 17-16 after the First International Bank and Trust timeout for the Mavs. Lukey serve. Scooped up by John Roldson. Tried the set dump. Nice block there from Bradley. Hintz off her back foot. Did not quite make solid contact with that one. Going to fall on the Demons side. And now the Demons see a tie game, 17-17. So it was DHS that had the momentum. Bismarck took a timeout, then they took all the momentum. Mavericks took a timeout, they'll get an early point to even things back up. Hintz kind of carries that one over as it's going to be called on a lift off a Hintz, so back-to-back Maverick points. So after 3 straight Demon points, got 3 straight Maverick points, puts them back up on top. Serve into the netting, 18-18. Substitutions on both sides. Jordan Rude and Taylor Mayer checking in to serve for Bismarck. Scooped up by Embry. Valencia plays it to the back set to Nelson. There is Johnner. Quick play to Ahmet with the kill. Ahmet has looked sharp here all night long, but especially here in set number 4. Leading the charge here late. Putting them up 19-18. Valencia tracks it down. Bradley floater diving effort for Johnner. Sliding in as Roldson sets it right to Rude. Gets it across. Valencia to Bradley on a line high in the air. Reeled back in. Mayer the chemist. Place it across. Free attack incoming. They go to Phillips. Trying to find the back of the box. Not quite. Sails high. 20-18. Demons up by 2. As we got now, we're getting in to that crunch time here in the red zone, as many refer to it. When you get to the 20s, every point crucial. Bradley trying to keep DHS in the mix. Roldson to Rude. Pot out of the air by Embry, but there was a whistle before Embry even touched it. It's a net violation on DHS. So the Demons pull up within 3. They just need 4 more to call the match. They lead 2-0 and lead this set 21-18. Valencia to Rodakowski, blocked, lifts it back up. Roldson settles in. Nice diving effort for Nelson. Embry now will bump it over. Free attack again. Here comes Rude. Too strong for Jordan Rude. Hauk and Zupke checking in. So the junior setter checks back into the contest. Here in the late stages of set 3. Stutter step for Ahmet. No doubt about it. For Delaney Ahmet. As Ahmet forces the last time out for the Mavericks. We're going to stay right here with you on the PSP Network. This game is brought to you in part by BSN. BSN creates exclusive personalized solutions for North Dakota high school and collegiate programs, from custom equipment, uniforms, and coaches' apparel to fan wear, branding, and more. They do it all. Contact your local BSN sales pro today. Western North Dakota sales pro Scott Woodmancy, Greg Foster, Naomi Erdahl, Nate Zachman, sales manager Joe Cattell. Big thanks out to Farstead Oil. You can contact Farstead Oil today to find out how their skilled sales team can help you achieve your wholesale, fuel, mobile, lubricants, and DEF needs. Proudly serving North Dakota, Montana, and western Minnesota since 1938. Committed to outstanding customer service and reliability. Farstead Oil. Coming out of the timeout break. Well, looks like we got a fan that's maybe taking a little quick snoozer on into the grandstand there. Looks like potentially a Bismarck fan. Might have a long road trip ahead of him here tonight. But here comes Rodakowski with a quick kill coming out of the final timeout for DHS here in set 3. And that's her 5th kill on the night. Batted out of the air by Mayer. Roldson to Beaterstead. Off of Bradley. Beaterstead picks up the point. The Demons within 2 from calling a match. 23-20. Roldson back to serve. Aspen sends it across. Scooped up by Howe. Kazuki a little off on the set, but great work getting it just over to Nelson, who gets it across, but Biederstedt, a quick answer back. Wastes no time. Back-to-back kills for Renee Biederstedt. Set point, match point for Bismarck High. 24/7 emergency service trained technicians, advanced technology, fire, water, cleanup, and restoration. It's Serve Pro. Roldson, left, right across your screen, picked up by Hauk. Zuki to Nelson, drops down. Not done yet are the Mavericks. They needed 4 straight points. They got one of them with Nelson tallying it up. Embry gives it a spin. Lofts up the rainbow. Mayer's there. Roldson to Burnell. Off of Bradley. The defensive just put the hands up. It works, gets back over. Burnell going to try again. Embry picks that one cleanly. Bradley races over, sets it up to Nelson, trying to picture it into the back line. Not going to quite get it to drop, and that will be the match. As Bismarck High comes in and sweeps Dickinson 25-14, 25-17, 25-21. And that is the first time, or second time, that Dickinson has been swept. The other time was against the top team in the state in Bismarck Century. It's a tough feat to sweep these Mavericks, but Bismarck High, a stellar game from the Demons, playing some top-notch volleyball, gets them into the win column, and they break the tie for third in the WDA standings, as Bismarck High now in the sole spot of third in the conference. We'll talk about this one and more when we come back on to the Charbonneau Car Center post-game show.
This presentation on the BSP Network is proudly brought to you by social media platforms. ESP Network, it's game day.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. Serve Pro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7, pressure, points, yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here?
That's a spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair. Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial. Financial, member of Finrun Civic. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Planning for the future is difficult, but pre-planning your funeral is a thoughtful way to ease the burden on your loved ones. At Stevenson Funeral Home, our compassionate team will help you create a personalized plan that reflects your values. We'll make sure that your wishes are honored and that your family will have peace of mind in a challenging time. Call us today to start your pre-planning journey. You can count on us to be with you every step of the way. Stevenson Funeral Home.
We enter into the Charbonneau Car Center post-game show. Charbonneau Car Center. They know drivers in Dickinson, New England, Richardson, Belfield, Wilson, North Dakota, Glen Dive, Montana. Work hard, play hard, and need a car that can keep up. That's why they choose to offer Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep lineup at their dealership in Dickinson. If you're interested in learning more, stop into their showroom and treat yourself to a test drive. Visit them online at charbonneaumotors.com. Here's a team pick there for Dickinson. After every single game, they take a team pick with the student section. So great there of just the camaraderie between the students here at Dickinson. Always a fun time at these volleyball games. But for Dickinson today, they just ran into a juggernaut, Bismarck High, playing some of their best volleyball for the Demons. And the Demons came off the bus. They were ready to play today. 25-14 in set number one. Dickinson has been known to really step it up in set two, and they tried different things in set two. They were trying to sub in and sub out different players. They just could not quite get the momentum. Bismarck High just would not let off that gas pedal. 25-17. Dickinson, that energy was starting to change, but again, Bismarck High just too balanced of an approach, different players stepping up throughout the entire match for Bismarck, and that allowed them to win it 25-21 and sweep Dickinson here at home 3-0. Now let's take a look at some individual statistics. Again, these are all unofficial stats. We'll start off with Dickinson. Embry led the team in digs. Claire Rodakowski, 5 kills. Ava Hauke as well played a major part on the back line. Jenna Nelson led the way with 11 kills, 2 aces. Lexi Bradley, 3 kills and an ace. Kara Paulson checked in, as well as Emerson Garr picked up a couple of assists. Jersey Lukey, 3 kills. Kimora Phillips getting in on a couple of block attempts. Ruby Valencia with an ace. I believe she led the team in assists tonight as well. And then coming off the bench, Jenna Zupke with a kill and a couple of assists. The junior getting her most playing time on the season tonight and made quite the impact. So it'll be interesting to see how much we see of Jenna Zupke coming continuing on forward on the season. I thought she had a very strong game and really had some good connections there with Claire Rodakowski. I believe Rodakowski had maybe a kill or two before Zupke kind of got in, and after that, Rodakowski's offensive game went up as well. So those two juniors connecting, and we're on the same page once Zupke checked in the contest. For Bismarck High, again, a very balanced approach. We'll talk about those kill getters. Jordan Rude, she had 12 kills, but that was the team high. Jensen Hintz with 9. Ahmet had 10. Rosalind Brunel with 9. And Renee Biederstedt had 9 as well. Roldson also picked up 2 on the day. Aces, Briar Johnner picked up an ace, 2 aces for Chemis and 2 aces for Taylor Mayer, as both teams picking up a couple of aces on the day. 5 for Bismarck High, 4 for Dickinson, so Bismarck High slightly winning in on that category. Tonight's Sports Clips. MVP of the contest. It's now time to announce tonight. Sports Clips brings you the MVP of the matchup. Sports Clips is the home of the MVP haircut experience. Nothing comes close to making you feel like an MVP, quite like the MVP experience at Sports Clips. Tonight's MVP of the contest going to go to none other than the senior setter, Aspen Roldson, as Roldson was the conductor behind that well-oiled machine up front today. Again, it allowed that balanced attack. How many players there in 9+ kills? I think it was five different players that were in 9+ kills for Bismarck, and orchestrating it all was Roldson. I thought she played phenomenally there at that setter role and got her attackers the good looks early and often in this one, leading to the sweep, 3-0 over Dickinson. Well, that's going to do it for this one. Again, final set scores 25-14, 25-17, and 25-21. Aspen Roldson, your player of the game, brought to you by Sports Clips. Before we sign off, though, let's take a look at our schedule for PSP Network Friday Night Football, presented by Bones Barbecue Sauce. Well, Bismarck High, they'll be taking on Mandan. Minot High versus Legacy in your 3A games. That one should be pretty fun. Yusuf Jam, always fun to watch there for the Legacy Sabres. AA Dickinson versus Jamestown. We'll be out there in Jamestown for that big contest for AA. And with how it's all set up, you get 5 counting games in the conference, and both Dickinson and Jamestown 0-1, meaning it's almost kind of a must-win game there already. Devils Lake versus St. Mary's, and then South Prairie Max and Bishop Ryan round out our slate on PSP Network Friday Night Football tomorrow. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight on the Sharpen Oak Car Center post-game show. Big thanks out to all of our sponsors that have made this broadcast possible. Big thanks out to our camera operator, Zach Sprague, tonight. Great job as always. And that's going to do it for myself, Brock Widener. We'll see you again tomorrow night on the PSP Network for Friday Night Football. We'll have Dickinson taking on Jamestown. Bismarck will have action as well on the PSP Network. You don't want to miss it.
Presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.